Rock Bottom Coins is the #1 place to get your Madden coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 10% off. Hey, Vox here. So today I want to talk about something that I feel like we haven't talked about enough, because MUT itself is based around the store and some of the things you can do in the store as far as training, packs, sets, everything is based off this. And I feel like probably the most underrated problems with MUT comes down to rerolls, right? And obviously packs been bad for years, right? I've expressed my frustration that all packs are basically bad with the exception of the toppers and some special offers. They're brutally bad, okay? And so along with that, the rerolls, and why I think these things being as bad as they are is actually super harming MUT itself. Now, gameplay is a whole different thing. We'll talk about that. Gameplay, good, whatever you think about it, bad. It is what it is. But I want to talk about MUT itself. And MUT sometimes has saved when gameplay in Madden has been just absolutely atrocious. Madden 20, Madden 17. People do express their love for those years. Highly controversial. But anyways, why these things being such bad return on value? And I'm not even talking about the training shuffles. You got to be out of your mind to do the training shuffles. There's no way of arbitraging into it. No way of doing anything with it at all. You're just going to straight up lose. It's basically a slot machine. And if you compare these things, let's just compare them to slot machines, right? In slot machines, I believe they're legally required to give you at least 80% of your money back, and I think maximum up to 98%. But a lot of them in Vegas, from not just cursory Google searches, brings back about 95% of value. And obviously, if you play a slot machine in a bar or an airport, it's going to be much less than that. But at least in casinos, it's 95%, okay? And let's call a spade a spade. We got a casino here with gambling, with rerolls and everything. So based off sample sizes, what are we returning? Now, last time I did this, I returned about 30% of my training back that I put in as far as quick sell value, okay? And then you look at other rolls, right? Grant does reroll data, or he did. And he basically, out of 350 rolls, out of this one roll, he got 9,000 training back out of about 27. So about 27,000, about a third of his training back, okay? So realistically, we're looking at a lot of these rolls bringing back 30-something% of our money, right? Remember what I just said? Casinos often are at 95%. So the rolls and the fact that they bring back 30%, I think drives a lot of people away from the game mode of MUT, because it's so bad engaging in the things that are enjoyable to people in the actual game mode of MUT, besides team building, grinding solos, building your team that way. Because okay, and off of that, and I want to come back to that a little bit. It's not like EA doesn't know, right? They absolutely put these things down, because if you remember on that headliner roll that we saw Grant numbers on, it started off at 80 training, okay? And then they discounted it all the way down to 45 training. So they know the return on value. Shout out Zerk, nice hair. So they know the return on value was less than half, because they put it at 45. They cut it in half. And if you look at my tweet, based off Grant's numbers, you're still losing, right? You would have put half as much training in and get back 9,000 still. But it's so frustrating, in my opinion, to see EA go this way with their rerolls, because it's hard to have fun with it, because every time I stock up training to do rerolls for new promos, like when we got coming Thursday, I end up losing well over 1 million coins. 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million coins. Every time I try and get a decent sample, decent look at it. And why would that be put into the game, right? Why would EA specifically put in something that drains us? And there's the obvious thing, right? They want to get as much money out as possible. But slot machines that don't pay off, people get off them, right? I'm rolling a lot less. I know a lot of people are rolling a lot less. It's not doing that great on YouTube as far as numbers or streams. It's just killing it, right? I literally can't keep the coins. As much money and time I put in this game, I literally can't keep the coin stack up because how much I'm losing versus previous years. So I think what's happening here is that EA and their bosses are all right, we got to put these packs, we got to put these rerolls in the game. But make sure there's no loopholes. Make sure there's no way of us getting screwed on them. So basically, the economist or whoever's in charge of these numbers, all right, so their boss says, put them in the game, but make sure people aren't gaining any money off them. So basically, they just nuke them from orbit, because what they're hearing and what their incentives are is basically to make sure nothing can ever go wrong as far as the company with these rerolls. So it's unfortunate that it's happened this way, that like the incentives aren't like, hey, keep the players playing and keep them into the MUT ecosystem, enjoying the rerolls, even though it's a slight loss over a long period of time. Because let's call it spade a spade. You know, it's gambling, right? People spend a lot of time on the slots, on these things. But like when you're just getting nuked, you get off of it. So I feel like EA needs to put in something like, hey, maybe we can increase metrics, right? If you have to think of it in a business sense, by keeping people in the MUT menus longer, by upping the reroll as far as the return on value, doing these things. Because, right, like, you're pulling mostly 81s out of this reroll. I don't even like, I literally don't even want to touch this, because the last time I did, I got absolutely destroyed, right? Okay. 170 training back out of 950 training. So that was what, 800 training? How much is an 800 training loss right now? 800 training loss is what, 60 to 70K. I just lost 60 to 70K in value right there. Like, just doing that once. And over a large sample size, it's not going to get much better. So please, EA, like, increase the odds in these things to anything like somewhat reasonable. 90% return on value. Please make it like closer to, you know, casinos literally print money. They can literally just take money from people. Please make it at least somewhat enjoyable for the common player to reroll these things, to spend time in the menu and maybe get a big pull, right? Keep going until you get a big pull. Because right now, it's essentially useless spots in the store just killing us, okay? And it's not exciting. Please make the game exciting. That's all I gotta say. So that's basically like a highly underrated reason why like MUT is just in an unfortunate spot at the moment as far as, you know, so many things they do. And let me know what you guys think. Bye.